Hello, computer science enthusiasts. Today we're going to take a look at how to make a sprite move across the screen. So I've already started putting some code in here. I went and selected an animation. This pen right here is my sprite that I've chosen. I've set that equal to sprite, and sprite is a variable that's going to start at 50, 200. And then I put it in the draw function, and so I draw my sprite. So here's what that looks like. All right, so what I want to do is I want to make it move across the screen. So if I want to make it move across the screen, if you look at the grid here, you can see that the X grid is what's going to have to change if I want to just move it across the screen, and the X grid needs to increase. So right now, my X grid is sitting at 50. And if I add, let's say I add 5 to it each time, it should move it across the screen as it redraws every time. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to go in here, and basically I'm just going to create a update to the X coordinate. So I'm going to pull out this sprite X. Notice when I pull it over here, it gets that little purple box because I want to snap it in there. And I want to say that the X coordinate is going to be sprite dot X plus 5. Notice I don't have to drag the blocks in there. I can type in the code and it'll automatically put it into block format. I thought that was really cool. All right, so now what I'm saying is every time I redraw the screen, I'm going to redraw the screen with the sprite being 5 points further to the right, or increase its X coordinate by 5 each time. So here's the problem. As I do that, you can see that I'm seeing all of the old sprites drawn as well. So what I want to do is I want to black that out. So what I'll do is every time I draw this screen, I will draw it with the background redrawing each time too. So the background will redraw and it'll cover up the sprite that's already there. So how do I do that? Well, I go in here to drawing, I pick background. The background color is white, and so I'll just slap background white in there. And now it's going to put a white background on there. It's going to increase the sprite's value, and then it's going to draw it. So the first draw will actually be at 55. But now you can see that when we run it, it looks like it's moving across the screen. And if I take out the grid, it just looks like it's just drawing right across the screen. So I can control the speed of how fast it draws by controlling this number right here. If I change that number to a 2 and I run it, you can see it's going to move a lot slower because it's only adding 2 to the X value each time. And if I made it something like 50, it would go really fast. So basically, if you have a lab that involves the speed of your sprite, the speed of your sprite will be based on how quickly you change your coordinates. All right, so that's basically how to create a sprite and how to move that sprite across the screen. And you can black out the old versions. You're basically just redrawing a new sprite at a different location, and it adds that illusion of movement. So I hope you found this informative. And until next time, I want you to keep on coding and keep on creating.